Hello, good evening. Uh, I'm back with another video today. I need to ask you some questions before I really proceed with the video. Do you like dystopian literature? Are you really terrified with the present modes of living and you would really search for alternative trajectories of existence? Do you really feel that we need to alter our ways of living and thinking? If the answer isn't the yes, then I would say that you basically would be thinking about a dystopian novel or a dystopian scenario. Dystopia is a very known word because dystopia was actually it's an opposite of a utopian setting, and dystopia as a literary genre has a very long history. It was attempted as early as 1604 by Joseph Hall, who happened to be a clergyman and who wrote a very satirical work the on an island which is populated by four types of people, which later paved inspiration for Jonathan Swift's Gulliver Travels. I'm speaking about dystopian works because that happens to be my research area. And recently, what I did was I just wrote a novel on that. Now it's called P, a novel. Uh, though basically, I love writing poetry, but sometimes try my hands at prose. So this is called P, a novel, which was published by Notion Press, Chennai, and P happens to be a character in a distant future. In fact, as the blurb of the book says, it's there on Amazon. You can find it very easily. It's very uniformly priced. I think 160 rupees. This is the author copy which I basically got from the publisher. So it's basically about a character called P who is living in the year 2222 AD, and it's a terrifying future because that's a time when a third world war has occurred and plate tectonic forces have ravaged the planet, and a new dictatorial government comes, which basically rules the world. The world is now one. It's called the Village, and it is ruled by an enigmatic man called the Boss, and his son the Sir. And they basically use their own quantum supercomputer called Nemesis. I mean, the word is in itself very terrifying. It's a strong word. Because the sun's rays in 2222 AD are strong enough to harbor a viral psychological illness which I fictitiously called phaseoprotea. And there is a drug which only a very few chosen people, rich people in those areas where the maximum are very poor, they live in the slums of the village. It's called proxamelin, which they use to counter the effects of phaseoprotea. Now, phaseoprotea is a fictitious disease that I have invented for this novel. It's basically it induces hallucinations in you, and the character P is a law enforcer in one of the provinces of the village. Now that place, which is today called Mumbai, I have basically given a digital representation of that because dystopian literature often erases the identity of the human being and people nearly become objects. So P is the name of the character in the novel, as I have also titled the novel P. And P understands the problems inherent in the politics of the village, and P joins with a subterranean benevolent agency called the DNA, which stands for Digital Nirvana Agency. And Digital Nirvana Agency is at loggerheads with the village tactics, and it wants to make technology and medicines and everything accessible to the general public, but they are banned in the village. And as it happens, the character P basically slips into one of the DNA hideouts, and he is welcomed there, and he understands the politics and the oppressive tactics of the village. He's appalled by that, and that's why he goes to the he goes into the subterranean depths where the DNA headquarters are situated. And there's an outrage, there is an uprising all world over. And the basic thing that P does is that he is an expert computer programmer. So what he does is he has manipulated the supercomputer, the quantum supercomputer, which basically devised a kind of a virus called F2016, which I name in the novel, and it is induced into the human body to gain citizenship all over the world, because without inducing the nanobots in the body designed by the supercomputer Nemesis and aided by the sun, which is now 70 degrees Celsius all over the world, I mean the heat. So you can imagine the heat in 2222 AD, fictitiously as I have said. So they contribute to the appalling condition of the masses, and P is the person who is in charge of the supercomputer. So P basically disables the supercomputer, and the village, or the oppressive tactics of the village, is destroyed. The Sir, the son of the boss, joins the DNA, and the Sir is dead because he was himself induced with vasoproteia symptoms. So it's a terrifying world that I have tried to portray. I dedicate this book called P to the present times. Now, this is what I have said in the dedication, that says, ironically, to the present times, that the harsh shall bring out the best in us. It was published this year. It's very uniformly priced, 160 rupees. Nowadays, you don't get books normally in 160. Everything is high priced. It didn't have very good sales, obviously, as I had anticipated, much lesser than my footnotes of history, A Tale of the Mahabharata. But it's there on flip on Amazon. You can check this out, and this is my only novel that I have written. If you are a futurist, if you believe in if you like reading speculative fiction, if you like reading novels like 1984, Handmaid's Tale, you like even a recent novel published in 1975, not recent, I should say, that's wrong because it's 1975. It's called High Rise, written by a British writer called J.D. Ballard. If you like reading a very recent novel published in 2011-12, I read the novel. It's by Mohsin Hamid, called Exit West. It's about refugee problems the world over. I hope you would try to find this novel interesting, keep situated in the lines of those novels. I look forward to you reading the book. Please give me your comments in the description box, and I'm sorry, your comments in beneath the box, and in the YouTube. And thank you all for listening. Bye.